acoustic playing sound more professional. The way to do that is dynamics. Now, maybe you don't care about being, a professional player out and about, wherever, coffee shop, rock star, church, whatever you do. Maybe you're just a couch jammer. Think about the people who have to listen to you play. They'll appreciate it. So whether or not you're a couch jammer or an aspiring performer, dynamics is the key. Now, some of you are like, dude, what the heck are dynamics? Dynamics are, let's say, ways to make the piece that you're playing sound more emotional. Let me give you an example. So I'm going to keep the chords easy. We're going to do an F chord, but we're not going to bar it. So if you're technically challenged like I am on acoustic, it's not so hard. So pretend you're doing a C chord and just drop these two fingers down a set of strings. So you got D3, G2, and then an open E. Plus it sounds real purty. That sounds cool too, but just like automatically puts you on a beach with a breeze. Now, from there, we're gonna go to C. Now we're gonna use a basic strum pattern. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, switch. Now, what we typically do as beginners, or even if we've been playing a while, we don't think about playing light or soft, and we don't think about breaking up the chord that much. We kind of just we do what's called washboarding. I mean, it's just hitting the whole chord. Maybe at one volume. That's fine, but what happens is that doesn't give you any place to go. When you hit a chorus, you want the chorus to be big and powerful. But if you do that in the verse, there's nowhere to go without like ripping the strings off your guitar and just basically, abusing your instrument. And that could get you in trouble. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those same chords. And this also works if your song's like only 3 chords. So you want to differentiate the 2 parts, dynamics. So let's take that same chord progression, do it non-dynamically. Here we go. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Sounds great. But say it's the verse and we want to go someplace from the verse to the chorus. We want to bring the song up. Now, one of the things we can do, exact same progression, exact same strum pattern, but let's vary the volume in our this hand. That wasn't eloquent, but it gets the point across. Okay, so here we go. Let's do it the non-washboard way, then we'll do it dynamically. Check this out. That didn't make sense either. Let's do it the washboard way. No dynamics, then we'll add dynamics. Here we go. All right, now listen. So automatically, there's a dramatic difference. Okay. Now, if you're a singer and you're singing and playing the guitar too, that can also be a 2-for-1 special because your voice is naturally, well, you're hoping if you're out there singing and performing, that your vocal's dynamic. It's emotional. It's louder, softer, and you use that to create the mood. Now, if you do that in conjunction with a guitar part, gigs will be flying. Okay. Given that you can kind of play and sound in tune, but you never know these days. Okay, so another thing that we can do on top of that. So again, let's do a verse into a chorus. Dynamics. Here's an example. Here we go. Verse. Build. chorus. Back to the verse. Okay, so you get the point. Now, to take it even further, you can add single notes. Keep the rhythm, the pattern kind of the same, but add single notes of the chord. It's called an arpeggio, arpeggiating. Any adjective you want to use to describe this, it's playing the notes separately in the chord. Okay, so we can use that in conjunction with the strum and dynamics. Let me get this. Right? So you can pick, what you want to do. Key is keep your arm moving a little bit so that rhythm still goes. You don't have to be super, you don't have to be super precise. As long as it's some of the notes within the chord in the beginning, it doesn't really matter. So say you pick the bottom 3. Right on the C, I just moved up a set of strings and went, the first one I went, F was E, B, G. C, I did B, G, D. Okay, so it doesn't really matter so much. You can keep your arm going and just, focus your strike or your strum a little bit more and not be so big and kind of do it naturally without really having to focus on playing a single string. Check it out. Right? I'm not really like, oh, I'm going to hit the B, the G. There's no pattern. It's just random. So that's when you're starting, that's one of the things that you can do because, we all need it to be a little bit easier in the beginning. If you are an experienced player but are looking to be more dynamic, then yeah, you can pick a pattern because you can start to add a melody line on top of the strum pattern. So especially if you're a single performer, you're by yourself, then you can have melodies going on with the strum patterns and the dynamics almost becomes the rest of the band, right? The beat, the drums, all that other stuff. So, number 3, you can really do to pick stuff up a little bit more even, is add, say, a hammer-on and a pull-off somewhere in there. So on the F chord, let's say we can do an open G and a hammer-on to the 2nd fret of the G. Do the same thing maybe on the C, but we can use the D or the G. Okay. Now the key to the hammer-on working is it's not how hard you press, it's how quick you can attack it. So check this out. If I don't attack it quick enough, it mutes out the note and it doesn't come through. But if I attack it quick enough, it works. Okay. So we'll do the same thing. We'll add the dynamics, the single note, and the hammer-on and pull-off. But I'm going to do it one verse normal, just dynamically. The second time through on the verse, I'll start adding the single notes, the hammer-ons, and pull-offs. Check it out. Here we go. Right, chorus. You can do the same thing on the chorus. And it almost becomes, again, that separate melody in the background. If you're by yourself, it's tough to sing, to play, to have, picked parts and all that stuff going on at the same time. So you can add a simple melody, almost like another part, by doing something like that. That's a very pronounced melody.